Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Jaya Gopijana Vallabha, Jaya Girivardhari, Jaya Gopijana Vallabha, Jaya Girivardhari, Jaya Jashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana, Jashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana, Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Giridhari Radha Giridhari Radhe, Jaya Giri Govardhan Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Laddu Gopal, Jaya Laddu Gopal, Jaya Laddu Gopal, Jaya Laddu Gopal, Jaya Gaurani Tai, Jaya Gaurani Tai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Panchatata, Jaya Panchatata, Jaya Panchatata, Jaya Panchatata, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. जय श्री राधा गिरधारी की जय, पंचतत्व की जय, गौर निताई की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय। Today I will start with Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita. Just I'm sharing. Please be with me. It's visible, right?
Yes, Mataji.
Thank you. Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita ki, and this is from chapter 20 and stays high forever. Dan and his wife walked the paved pathway through the park. He was looking around for the Swami, but he did not really know what to look for. He expected to see robes and hear Buddhist style chanting, but he could not find anything. He had given up his search and was wandering around to see what musicians were there when he noticed a big crowd gathered around what he figured must have been some musicians. He was attracted by the beat of their music, a chanting 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, a simple rhythm with a kind of flamboyance and very magnetic. He saw an occasional upraised arm above the crowd, and he thought there must be flamenco dancing going on inside the circle. He then got wind of a drifting melody, certainly not flamenco, which accompanied the beat, and this attracted him further. He approached closer and closer, making his way through the crowd. Then he saw people chanting and others dancing and waving their arms in what he took to be a blend of American Indian and Asian dancing. It looked like something from a long forgotten era. Dan decided that this must be the Hare Krishna group. but there were no robes, just the regular dress of the Lower East Side. And where was the Swami? Then he saw him sitting conspicuous, playing a little drum. His eyes were closed, and his brow was knit with concentration. This is the quotation. Then the Swami was not calling attention to himself, and at first I did not attribute any importance to an elderly Indian man sitting up to one side. He did not seem to have any special function in the chanting, but it gradually dawned on me who he was. He was the same Swami I had read about in the paper and seen in the storefront. After a while, he spoke, but I could not hear him. Still, I was impressed that he was a very modest person, not interested in getting himself up on a pedestal. He did not go strutting around, but was still with inner peace, strength, and knowledge. Bob, all these disciples were there around his feet. They were chanting, and I tried to chant along and learn the mantra too. I had heard the chanting of Hare Krishna once before at a peace march, and I had found it very beautiful. Then the Swami spoke. I had the impression that this person was not earthly, and I thought, Hare, here is the person I am looking for. He seemed to be different from anyone else, like he came from some other place or universe. I was attracted. After a second kirtan, the Swami and his followers rolled up their rag, picked up their instruments, and began to leave. Thank you. I am finishing here. Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita ki jai. Before going to Srimad Bhagavatam class, I am doing my invocation prayer. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskritta naranchaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato yayam udirayet sinnatang shakatha krishna punnasravana kirtana hridayantastha hi abhadrani vidhunati sruhit satam nashta prayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati ruttamaśloke bhaktir bhavati nashtaki Vasudeva para Veda, Vasudeva para Mukha, Vasudeva para Yoga, Vasudeva para Kriya, Vasudeva param Gyanam, Vasudeva param Tapa, Vasudeva paro Dharma, Vasudeva paragati, Mukham karoti vachalam pangam langhayate girim, Jat kripa tamham vande paramananda madhavam, Sri Gurum dinataranam. Thank you everyone once again. And good morning and all Hare Krishna to all assembled devotees, and thank you to giving me the opportunity to look for this verse and think about the verse and to discuss about this verse. And I humbly seek the blessings of all assembled devotees for glorification of Lord, so I can speak something for my purification of my filthy heart, though I am not really qualified. Thank you. So we'll read the verse from 420:11 and chapter entitled, name is that Puranjana becomes a woman in the next life. I am reciting the verse and then you can follow me if you want to. Bhayo namno agrajo bhrata prajvaro pratyupasthitaha dadaha tang puring kritsnang pratuh priya chikirshaya bhayo namno agrajo bhrata prajvaro pratyupasthitaha dadaha tang puring kritsnang pratuh priya chikirshaya bhayo namno agrajo bhrata prajvaro pratyupasthitaha dadaha twang puring kritsnang bhratuh priya chikirishaya. If anyone want to like to recite, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhu Dandavat Pranam.
Vayo namno grajo bhrata rajvaro prati upastita tadaha tam purim krishnam bhratu priya chikirshaya. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji Dandavat Pranam. I am also trying.
Dandavat Pranam Prabhu.
Bhayo namno grajo bhrata rajvaro pratyupastitah dadaho tam purim kritsnam bhratuhu priyo chikirishaya.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, go ahead. Dandavat Pranam.
Bhayo namno agrajo bhrata projwaraha pratyupasthitah dadaha tam purim kritsnam bhratuhu priyachikirshaya. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Anyone else?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji, go ahead.
Bhaye namano agrajo bhrata prajvaraha pratyupa sthitaha dadhaha tam purim kritsanam bhratu priya chikirshaya. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Can you go for synonyms? Would like to want to read?
I'll try.
Okay, carry on, Prabhu.
Thank you very much. The translation synonym by Srila Prabhupada. Bhaya namna, of Bhaya, fear. Agraja, elder. Brata, brother. Prajwara, name Prajwara. Pratyupasthita, being present there. Dadaha, set fire. Tam, do that. Purim, city. Kritsna, wholesale. Bratu, his brother. Priya Chikirshaya, in order to please. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Anyone would like to read the translation and purport?
May I, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji, go ahead.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Under the circumstances, the elder brother of Yavan Raj, known as Brajwal, set fire to the city to please his younger brother, whose other name is fear itself. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Anyone would like to read?
Hare Krishna. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. According to the Vedic system, a dead body is set on fire. Before death, there is another fire of fever, which is called Prajvara or Vishnu Jara. Medical science verifies that when one's temperature is raised to 107 degrees, a man immediately dies. This Prajvara or high fever at the last stage of life places the living entity in the midst of a blazing fire. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. And this is small purport, but so much meaning and so much to learn. I'm stop sharing. Before discussing this today, I would like to take the blessings from Guru and Gauranga. Om Agyanang Timirang Dhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chaksurumritanjana Tadmay Sri Gurave Namaha. Namong Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Charu Swami Niti Namini Snigdha Cheta Supraneto Bhaviminam Jarasaprutam Prabhupada Gata Prana Namami Bhakti Charu Padam. Namong Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunnavati Pastate Satakrini. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaur Bhakta Bindu. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Once again, Vancha Kalpatarubhescha Kripa Sindhu Bhayavacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. So today's verse is 11. Just I'm sharing my PPT to discuss easily. And Hope it's visible, right? Yeah.
Yes, brother. You can see that.
Thank you. So this titles is that of the chapter is Puranjana becomes a woman in the next life. Yesterday, Prabhu is telling so nicely that hope, that's good positive aspect. And that I'm reading the translation again. Under the circumstances, the elder brother of Javan Raj, known as Prajvara, set fire to the city to please his younger brother, whose other name is fear itself. That just before the discussing this verse today, let's recap little bit recap. The characteristics of Puranjana, that is his unlimited desires, and the result we are seeing how time has come, how attacked with the Bhai and Kalkanna. Puranjana's youth first and last, and Chandavega attacked with his soldiers, and Bhai, Kalkanna all attacked in the city, and Puranjana arrived at the point of old age. Bhai actually using Kalkanna to attack, to kill people. So city of 9 gates is totally attacked by Jara, Bhai, high fever, Chandavega, and his all soldiers, and whole city is set of fire. And Puranjana is in pain, means death has come. We tell, the man is dying. So that moment has come now. And actually when Kalkanna embraced to Puranjana, he lost his intelligence, family became indifferent, he became anxious, he is pain. And that text 9 or 10, it's telling lost real purpose of life, still wanted to maintain family, and forced to leave city by Kalkanna. And also we are reading, the Srila Prabhupada is telling you have to be forced by your old age. So today I will discuss that 4 point, that what is death and why death happen, why no one wants to die, and what is the devotee's attitude time of death. So I will go one by one. This is Puranjana's final stage. His city is in sets of fire, he's in pain, going to leave his body any moment. Due to excessive heat, body, cell, organs are failure. We see, when 107-degree fever comes, we used to put some water and some ice on the body to reduce the heat. And we know if a heat goes in the head, the person will die. Same way, Prajvara sets fire to entire city, and heat in the body burn up all organs. Organs are malfunctioning. So subtle body is taking the new body, which is technically called is death. Also body gradually turns when, means cold, like cold, when we touch cold, then it's come detachment with withdrawal of the prana. We found it's cold, started become the leg first cold, then again one organ failures. We experienced so many deaths in front of my eyes. So I remember, and I'm seeing maximum maybe 2-3 days in every week. Because I'm working in ICU, so I'm seeing the death, how gradually death comes, and how that that all organs failure. So like same way, a part of the subtle body, when goes from the old body to another body, we can tell it's a death. So same way, Puranjana dragged from the city by the old age, death and disease. And that, so this is the death. And what is death? What is death? My next slide, what is death? To be with me. Yesterday also Prabhu is telling this slope, that what is death? The death is that it has been in the 2.13, and all you know, that Dehoshmin Jatha Dehi Kumarang Jaubanam Jara Totha Dehantara Praptir Dhiros Tatra Namoyoti. dhirastatra namuhyoti, and tatha dehantara prapti. Means every living entity is having an individual soul. Each is changing his body every moment, manifesting sometimes as a child, then some youth, then grow, then old, became old man, then again Haribol. So same spirit soul is there and does not undergo any change. The individual soul finally changes the body at death and transmigrates to another body. So Krishna is telling to Arjuna, on account of that, there is no cause of lamentation. So we are seeing, how the young baby grows. He takes bath, then he goes to the kindi, then he goes to the primary school, then he goes to the school, then he goes to the college, then he meets the friends and girlfriends, then he goes for the service, then he's the main earning members, and then he got married, then grow old. What happened? Then horrible. In the same way, it is means for everyone's life, it's happening. We are seeing, and it's actually every moment our cell is dying. That science also telling, the doctors are tell about that as well. That every 7 years all cells are changed, means nitya pralay, the constant dissolutions of all beings, like death that occurs daily. This is Vishnu Puran tells about the 4 types of pralay. One is that like constant every moment, and other one is the day of Brahma, one day, and other one is the means death of Brahma, means 100 day of Brahma, and the 4th one is the when merging to the Narayan, with the Narayan. This is the 4th type of pralay. So in our daily life, we are seeing that material body, how is that organ is failure, and cessation of activities of organs inside the body is called death. And when soul gets a fresh instrument for activity, this is called birth. In Vedic culture, the time of death is considered the final test. We are always telling, you have to remember your final time. In lifetime, the time of death is considered the final examination. And passing the final examination means thinking of God. We are listening. Now I can discuss the characteristic of death. What is death? That Canto 11, 22 and 39, it is telling, that it is forgetfulness. When the living entity passes from the present body to next body, which is created by his own karma. This is karma, it is another discussion. He becomes absorbed in the pleasurable and painful sensation of the new body and completely forgets the experience of the previous body. This total forgetfulness of one's previous material identity, which comes about for one reason or another, it is called death. So this is one forgetfulness, the cause. So soul goes to another body as per karma, and karma is predetermined of your next path, that we learn from that, our Bhagavad Gita, and from Ishkan, from Srila Prabhupada's teaching. And Bhagavad Gita 13:22 is telling, karanam guna sangasya shad ashad shad ashad jani janmeshu. So living entities transmigrate from one body to another, and it is explained in the 2nd chapter that this is that telling that transmigrating from one body to another, 2.13. As like one changes the dress, also it is in the 2nd chapter, the basansi jirnani jatha vihai. Person actually sets own out garments and owns new ones, just to give up the old clothes. Like same, the death comes and give up that old body and get the new body. The change of dress is due to the material existence under the influence of material desires. So this is going on. New body get body and forgets previous body. It is technically called death, and actually death is very painful as well. This is also one characteristic of death. But nowadays, when the person is in the deathbed, they give the morphine. That's why they don't feel pain. But in the natural way, when they are going to die, I found it's very painful. Its oxygen level is very less. The heart beating is going hazardous, and also sometimes the blood pressure is very low. So all type of things happen, and it's very painful. And next point I'm discussing, why death happen? Why death happen? So, and death is very necessary for us, and that and yeah, death is very necessary for us. For detachment, to bring the detachment, death is very necessary. And this situation of old age, we found that no one wants to love their old parents. Especially, we are observing some people, maybe, yeah, those who are the divine nature. Everyone wants to give up the old person because that's why we are staying the old age. Old age home business came, and they are in the old age waiting for death. And death is necessary for detachment. When person knows that my old father, mother cannot work for us, and all love finished. He's on bed, cannot do anything. So no love, no respect for the old person. Then old person realize what is the truth of life. Everything is temporary, no love for us. That is the real world. So understand the reality that death is very necessary. Before death, we should know first why we come here, why we take birth. Because who made this Bhavasagar, the material world, that Brahma Samhita is telling Brahma, Srishti Sthiti Pralaya Sadhana Shaktir Eko. That Lord is giving to us everything. His one aim is give privileges to do bhakti, then go back to Godhead. He's giving everything, how we can get out from here. That's why he made it. Actually, Krishna loves us, everyone. And we have seen this last chapter, how he has sent Chandabega. Krishna wants to us realize nature of material world and go back to Godhead. Kalakanna Jora, the invalidity of old age can be used to arouse a sense of fear that Mataji was discussing, I think last Monday, about that fear, the positive way of fear and negative way of fear, both we need. Fearful is necessary. So this is that sense of fear is necessary. So we can prepare for the next life by engaging in Krishna consciousness. That's why Javan Raj also thought how to use the Kalkonna for the Karmi. And that also Canto 11, we found that Labdha Shudurlabha Idam Bodhi Sambha Bhante. Means after many births and deaths, one achieved the rare human form of life, which although temporary. And this is the opportunity to attain the highest perfection. That's why sober human being, what they do, they would like to know what is the ultimate perfection, and they try to start, and that they try to prepare for final exam. That Mahatma Prabhu is telling here, to not to be owned by what we own, not to be owned what by own, whatever we have in our life, my body, my position, my wealth, my daughters, my brother, my sons, my husband. So not to be owned by what we own. It's mera nahi hai. It's not mine. And reality of life of the story I'm telling to you, you may be heard, but I am telling again, that story of rich king who had having 4 wives. So he used to love the 4 wife with great care and gave her the best, the present, everything. And also he loved his 3rd wife, and he always wanted to show her up to his friends. He always had a fear in mind that she might run away with some other man. And he loved his 2nd wife. And though she loved him deeply, and he was very loyal to him and took great care of him. And he did not love first wife, but that's the first wife. She loved Chuking very deeply and was very loyal to him and took great care of him. And I'm telling about that his 2nd wife. when he was facing problems, he used to go to her and he used to help him out. And that king, one day, he fell very ill and knew what is he, and he knew he's going to die soon. And he told himself, I have 4 wives. With me, I'll take one of them along with me when I die to keep company with my death. So what he did, he asked the 4th wife who loves most, can you die with me? So what she told, no way. And she replied and walked away without another word. Then he asked the 3rd wife. She said, life is so good over here. I am going to remarry when you die. So he asked his 2nd wife, will you be with me? She said, I am sorry. I cannot help you this time round. At the only accompany you till your grave. But by hearing his heart is real. Then a voice called out, I will follow you where you go. Up was the 1st wife. She was so skinny, almost like she's malnutrition. And the king said, I should of you while I could have. So from these lessons, we have our 4 in everyone's life, body, no matter how much time and making it to look good, but it will finish one day. We die. The 3rd wife is status when we go to others. The 2nd wife is our family and friends. No matter there for us. This they can stay by us to the only grave. That wife is soul. Offered in pursuit of wealth, power, and pleasure. Soul is the only thing. Follow us whatever, where we do and wherever we go. And so the king realized, Atma, thus the quote, to not to be owned by what we should not be attached things with 4 wives. Now, 10. So, popular hi dhruva janmo, jamritu dhruva janma vidharje arthe, natam shochitum arhashi. 2.227. One who has taken birth is sure to die, and after death, one is sure to take birth again, as per the person's activities. Therefore, in the unavoidable discharge of your duty, you should not lament. From Brahma to end, everyone will finish one day. Yesterday, Prabhu was telling the Brahma's life is 311 trillion years. He also died, and his 1,000 into 4. And 14 Manu, and 1 Manu is Chaturjuga. Means so long. Think about that. One day, Mahavishnu takes like 1 breath, finish the Brahma's life. This is the reality of the world. This is that things we should understand. And time is saying and us, but and what time is? Time is the top nature. Everything in time, everything disappears. Our body disappears, our health disappears, our abilities disappears, our beauty disappears, our relationship disappears. In time, everything disappears. And one thing remains, what that? To realize who we are. So the death is necessary who has taken birth. And next, and I will discuss about that, wants to die. Why no one wants to die? Actually, our manufacturing is eternal. We made is eternal. We are Satchit Ananda. Our Sharup, our nature is eternal. We actually make relationship with in material life, which gives the distress, not happiness. Only soul gets blessed when soul mixes with Satchit Ananda. However, in this material world, everything is Asat, Achit, and Nirananda, and made temporary, and we are seeking happiness is here in the unreal material world. And we are looking real happiness in the unreal world is shadow. That is perfect reflection of spiritual world. That is we read in the 15.1. That first slok was that Urdhva Mulam Adhvasakham Ashatham Prahurabhyam. Means eternal means was in present and it will stay in future. And this is the part we made with eternity. This is that as beings. And also, that's why we see that eternity. And this all also telling that, again, no one wants to die. Now I will discuss really, this is that fragmental part. We wish to be internal like him, but our natural, our inherent quality is the soul, that we eternal and we should be God. That's why Krishna says here, come into being with the death of this body and found, the small ants fly, does not die. This is that our quality of the soul. So feel very fear of time of death. Why we feel fear? Why no one wants to die? Fear. That verse is Bhayam Ditya Abhiniveshatha Shat. So actually, first Abhines is, if we think, Vishwas Korle to ar Duhi. This is the first Abhines. Why fear comes? Fear will not come when we think I am or you, all we are Krishna Das, ei Vishwas Korle to ar Dukhu nahi har. Dukhu nahi ar. What is my nature? We abhinivesh with Krishna, abjure with Krishna, then we don't have any fear. When we fear, everything is ditya abhinivesh. Whatever we acquire in this life, hence think, oh, I will miss my body, shan, then we fear. Made by Lord, that Bhumir Apunal Naluvayu, we have read. So means everything is made by Lord Krishna. And forget him. Anything without Krishna in this material world, it's ditya, means consciousness makes material or spiritual. When you think this is that spirit, this is spiritual world. When you think this is the material, we think this is the material world, because Lord is Purnam. That Ishavasham Idam Sharvam. We read about that that Ishopanishad. But what that pure devotee sees everything is spiritual. Sthabar Jangam dekhe na dekhe tar murti sarvatra hoy nijo Ishtadeva Spurti. Everything related with the spiritual world. So everyone wants fear of death because when we see without Krishna, when we see that we are body and body related things, and that way the fear of death develops when we identification of body as self. So bhayam ditya abhiniveshayat sat. Ditya refers to matter, which is beyond spirit, and matter is the secondary manifestation of spirit. Matter is the produced from spirit. Without Krishna, all are ditya. Ditya means second. And also we tolerate any amount of misery, but do not want to die. Just remembering the story little bit, just I'm telling 2 lines. The 70 years old man, he is cutting the wood from his family. And that day he was very sunny, he's feeling very fatigued, and that's time he was wondering, he was remembering, oh death, you also forget me. Why I am not dying? He is calling death intensely. But death came, and Jamraj came, and he telling, okay, so I am here, you called me, let's go. But that death told, that old man told, no, I don't want to go with you. Just I was telling, can you give me a favor of me? Just can you give me that basket of the wood? Can you put on my head? So in that way, we are fear, but we are still taking the burden. We are not throwing the burden. This is the nature. That's why we feel fear for the death. And that like old man, we are telling, we don't want to die and place my burden on my head. We are all afraid of death because we are identifying of the body. So this is our defect. That's why we're fearful. And this is that also big story that the bhajan about that Durlabha Manava Janmalobhya Sangsare Krishna na bhajinu dukha koi ho kahare. Bhakti Vinod Thakur has given that so nice bhajan. This is that what called that gist of that Vedas. Samsara samsara kare miche gelo kal labho na koilu kichu ghotila janjal. This is that verse is very related for this bhajan. The human form of life is the rarest opportunity for attaining spiritual perfection. But now I am lamenting because I have somehow or other been born with such an opportunity, but I am wasting that the time, valuable time, not worshipping the Lord, having married and entered in the entanglements of materialistic family life. I passed my time in vain, and I am getting what's the result? Trouble and botheration. So this is our attitude, and that Narad Muni is telling Puranjana, and this is actually it's our life. It's giving the metaphorical study, allegorical study. Now, the last point, what will be the attitude of devotees time of death? This is actually that the chapter Canto 11, the Ojata that Chitraketu Maharaj is cursed by Parvati, how his attitude, he paid his obeisances to Mother Parvati, and he has taken that curse as a blessings. That's Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 6 is telling about the verse 28, chapter 6, 17. Narayana parasharve na kutaschana vibhuyati sharga parapargo narakeshu opi tullarhata darshina. Never fear anywhere for the devotee if he goes sarga, visharga, hell, because he is doing katha. He is taking prasad, he is taking darshan, he is dancing with kirtan. Even wherever he goes, he will do same thing. So a devotee is engaged in the devotional service of the Supreme Personality Godhead of Narayan. Never fear any condition of life. For them, the heavenly planets, liberation, and the hellish planets are all the same. For such devotees are interested only in the service of the Lord. The Srila Prabhupada's, when he was leaving the body, I was listening my Guru Maharaj lecture, the last lecture, His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj, how to conquer the death. That first time he went the Rishikesh, the Srila Prabhupada, and when he was taking that Ayurvedic medicine, he gaining some strength, and he went to the London. He went to the UK to preach. In that age, when he is getting the strength, he went again. But again, his body deteriorated. He came back to Vrindavan. And that time, that Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj, he is very intimate friend of that Srila Prabhupada. When he was giving Charnamrita, he found Srila Prabhupada's tongue is vibrating time to time and chanting. And we can see till the last moment, Srila Prabhupada was completely in Krishna consciousness, and his absorption was Krishna. The lotus feet, even Srila Prabhupada was translating Bhakti Vedanta purport in that condition. What to speak of holding the microphone with his own hand? He did not even the strength to turn to the side. Last drop his energy used to translate the Srimad Bhagavatam. That time, His Holiness Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj and Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj used to help him to his side and return to him. But his body was reduced, set of bone in a bag, lean. He only thinks how to chant until the time of death and until Narayan Smriti. Have to prepare to remember Narayan wherever we stay. Life of Kadamba Kanan Maharaj, Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, Mukti Charu Swami Maharaj, Prana Prabhu. we have found our Bhakti Charu Swami Guru Maharaj. He went to the America in the COVID time. He cancelled 3 times his flight. And last time he went, he told, I have to go to help our disciples. We have to help. Being a leader, I cannot stay and sit down at home. And preaching is the field, and warriors should die in the battlefield. So he went. And Kadamakanand Swami Maharaj, in the last moment, his disciple is telling that, he is sleeping like this. His disciple is telling, Maharaj, have you gone? And he's telling and smiling, not yet. And his face is glowing. And Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj as well. We found, maybe all you have seen how he's doing arti when he's sleeping. This is the consciousness of the devotees. Wherever they go, they worship the Lord. That we found how Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami wrote Chaitanya Charitamrita in his old age, amazing. So much logic, so much arguments established the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So many verse quotes. Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, also all joined in their old age. So the old age no matter for the devotee. So even we found in the last chapter, because how they gain the strength, because they follow the instructions of Narad Muni. That's why they have no fear of old age, disease, and death. Devotee may grow old and they die, but they going back home, back to Godhead. Therefore, he has no fear of death. They follow the Pancharatrika Vidhi, Bhagavat Vidhi. That's why they don't have fear. They know that's Krishna told, Kontya Prati Janati Name Bhakta Pranashyati. No degradation, my devotees will not perish. And also, His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj was telling, even deathbed, no devotee will be there, and it's happened. But that Lord will remember that Ishopanishad, the mantra 17 is still Om Krita Smara, Kritam Smara. At the time of death, our devotees does not remember his service to the Lord, but the Lord does not forget him. Even so many times we heard from Srila Prabhupada, don't want to see the Lord, but do you way, the Lord will come to see you. That's why that always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. Even we read about that heart-touching story, Ananda Vrindavan Mataji, that she was from Kazakhstan, and she came to help one the devotee who is in the time of death. So she got that like disease, she cannot move, and she was thinking that death is near of her, and she was in pain. She was telling, she is calling her mother. She was remembering and how her mother was nourishing, and in her 30 years of journey in the spiritual world, still she forgets the Krishna. But one nurse came, and she was telling, why you are not chanting Hare Krishna? That 2 words she heard, and she started chanting. And that time her means Kazakhstan devotees were chanting for her. So somehow rather, Krishna sent to that nurse, and though that nurse was in the Muslim nurse. So in that way, Krishna always helped us. We read the Katvanga Maharaj that the demigod is telling just one muhurta left, and he freed himself, and he's taking the Lord's lotus feet and going to the Lord's shelter. That's the main one important thing I will discuss, that how the attitude, especially the Vrittashur, that this is that very that heart touching of me as well, the Vrittashur prayer, especially that Ajata Pakshaiva with Mataram Kaghas Tannam Jatha Vatsataraha Khudartha Priyam Priyaiva Vyashitam Vishanna Mano Ravindaksa Didrik Shatitam. How the baby birds means his mother will a small calf. He's tied with the ropes. He is waiting anxiously where mom will come give me milk. And same way, as a wife whose husband is away from home, and longs for him to return, and she is waiting for her husband to render service to him. So in this prayer, the Brittasura is telling to Indra, why you are not killing me? And that time he's doing that prayer, that fourth prayer. Why you are not killing me? Killing me quickly. He's very greedy to die. Hey Indra, and you know the Lord is with me always. After left body, I will go to Lord. He's very anxiously telling Indra, please kill me. And he wants to go. And he's telling to Indra, you will stay here. After so much struggle, King Indra killed Brittasura because Brittasura was a great demon. And Indra killed by his head with great weapon that is called the thunder. And Brittasura remembered that Supreme Lord in that time of death. And his that moment, he's waiting like a, khaga, like baby bird, like chick. And also he's waiting like that when, like a calf, when he will come and give him food, eagerly waiting to go back to Krishna. And last, that the example of that the wife is waiting for beloved husband. Actually, he is having the choice. He can go, but his desires is for his loving presence. Will chooses to wait for him to come his own accord. This is the highest state of prema bhakti of none other than the gopis themselves. So if we take the instruction of Narad Muni, that and we apply in our life, we really will go to the Godhead. And Puranjana frightened that in that in that slok we found, but Sukhdev is ready to go. Sukhdev is sitting down and is asking that Sukhdev Maharaj to Parikshit Maharaj, what is the duty? You tell me in the last. And Sukhdev Goswami was telling, Tasmat Bharata Sarvatma Bhagavanishwaro Hari Stotobhya Kriti Tabhya Smratebhascha Ichchato Bhayam. So everyone who desires to be free from all anxieties should always hear about, glorify and remember the personality of Godhead, who is the supreme director of everything, the extinguisher of all difficulties, and the super soul of all living entities, not for devotees, all living entities. So in the conclusion, I will tell everyone has to die. Everyone has to die, but always remember Krishna, never forgets him, and he is permanent. Our mood sometimes swing because our mood is temporary, but he is eternal. So definitely we'll get chance to serve Lord Krishna. And also I discuss what is death, how it's happened, why it is important, and what's the devotee's attitude. And I am finishing my discourse today. Conclude. Hare Krishna. Thank you for listening me patiently. If anyone have any questions and suggestion and correction, please feel free to discuss. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much for a small text, elaborating so nicely, covering all the points, the main points you mentioned about what is death, why death happens, and why no one wants to die, and what is the devotee towards death. You have explained all the points so nicely and easily understandable for all of us who are hearing this. But the ultimate goal, everything happens by the will of the Lord. But the devotee, when we understand, then only we wake up and turn around turn around towards the Lord so that our life can be a purposeful journey in the whole journey of our life. So that is the lesson from this text. And as you have given examples, even Srila Prabhupada, at the bedtime, he was just chanting the holy name. And not even that, he was translating Bhagavatam. So when it was checked, the doctor found his tongues are still moving. So even that's why devotee doesn't care about the death, because they are so spiritualized. Even in this material world where they are on, still they do the same same devotional service. They know the service is the same whether I stay in material world or spiritual. So they are not fearful about it. So that is the attitude need to be acquired by each and everyone before we take the final journey. So not to be afraid of this body has to be perished, because we are just like a guest. When we arrive at a house or in our mother's house, father's house, we are just like a guest. The first day is very pleasantful, but the days passes off, it becomes slowly distasteful, and one day you have to leave. Similarly, when we take birth in this world, we become very pleasantful because we know we need to enjoy, but finally you find that you have to live. So not to be fearful, just turn around towards Lord. He will find you the suitable way to achieve the last journey of our life. So this is a lesson from all of us, all human beings, that whatever you do, Ante Narayana Sriti. If you remember Krishna all the time, he will take possession of our life and will help us to reach the ultimate goal of life. And that is what is the devotee's attitude. Thank you so much for enlightening this small text in a great detailed way to help us to understand in a right perspective. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Very nicely summarized. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Hare Krishna.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you very much for the nice class, bringing out the importance of death and how a devotee faces it. And as we know, in Bhagavad Gita 2:27, it is mentioned that Jata Shui Dhruva Mitru Dhruvam Janmita Shacha. So anyone who is born in this world has to die. And no matter who is he, from Brahma to the smallest microbe or anything. But a devotee knows what he will get in this material, what he has to do in this material world, and how at the end of the day, what life he will get. Because the body is temporary, but the eternal soul, antavanto ime deha nitya yukta sharina. But the dehi, or our real identity, the soul is eternal. So the devotee makes a plan for that, and he lives the life in that way. He remains associated with the Lord by serving him so nicely that he knows that it is a practice for him in this material world, and after that he will go to a place where he will have an eternal association with the Lord. And so he knows the present, he knows the future, and so he is akuto bhayo, he is free from fear at the time of death. So this is the difference between a material person and a devotee. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for nice summarization as well and highlighting the points. Yes, Jatasya Dhruva Janma Vitasya. Jatasya Dhruva Janma Vitasya. Thank you. If no one have any questions or comment, we can finish now.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you for a beautiful class, very wonderful, thought-provoking class. So many different points. And especially first time I heard importance of death, like death brings about detachment. Normally we don't think like that, but yes, it brings about detachment in us. So it's also got a very big significant role to play in our lives. So thank you very much for highlighting that. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. All praise to Srila Prabhupada. We can conclude the class here.
Yes, Mataji, there will be no inquiries.
Vancha
कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय।